Hello friends, so we are back. This is a continuation of our previous video, Knowing the Right Tools. If you haven't seen the video, I will link it on the description box below or you can click on the card above your screen. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the like button. Sharing it with friends will help this channel a lot, and let's begin. As per our previous video, we must look for reference photo using our stock option. For this video, I selected an apple since we had an orange fruit last time. We have 5 apples here, but we will just use the first apple in front of our reference, and we select our pencil brush for sketching. Sketch the base shape. Sketch loosely. Just draw the shape as you see. Don't be too concerned about how it will look like. Here's a tip. You know an apple. You have an apple in your mind. Don't draw what's in your mind. Draw the apple in your reference. Use the reference. Draw what you see, not what you know. So we have the base shape. Let's render it using vector. Select the color red as our apple is red. Tap Curves option and use Node to reshape the circle. Let's use the Fill tool to add gradients. We can add more colors just by tapping anywhere the handle to create better color blending. Determine the light source and select the gradient type necessary for your shape. Next up is to duplicate, play with opacity, and blur. This is another way of blending colors. And now we have a tomato. Just kidding. Fine-tuning and adjusting is also necessary. Take note that we are always looking for shapes. Think of it as we are playing a game called shape hunting. Now let's add the curve where the flower stalk is. Make the shape and change the necessary color. This time we're going to use the transparency tool. Simply adjust the handles where you see fit. Repeat duplicate, change opacity and blur for better color blending. Now let's add the apple stalk just by repeating the process that we mentioned earlier. Let's use the pen tool for us to create accurate shapes. So what I did here is to duplicate the stock layer, made the bottom layer using fill and the top using transparency. This is not the right process. There's a lot of ways to paint digitally. If you have questions regarding the process, feel free to comment down below. You can sketch the whole apple right away, then render it with vectors. I only made it this way for the sake of our video. Repeat the duplicate, change opacity if necessary, and blur process as you go on coloring your subject. Adjusting the colors are necessary until we meet the desired effect, so don't be afraid to bring out your artistic skills. Now we have a glass sculpted apple. This seems enough, but I'd like to adjust more of the darks and the highlights by using the transparency tool and playing around adjusting the opacity. Let's organize our layers before we finalize our painting. Okay, so the last thing to do is to add textures to make our apple more realistic. And on the pixel persona, we are going to use the default texture brushes. Make sure that our texture layer is clipped on our main object so we won't worry about colors getting out of bound. And in adding texture, make sure to follow the spherical shape of our subject to create that 3D-ish effect. Watch until the end for you to grab a simple technique that I use. And that's about it for our tutorial. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button if this video helped you out in any way, share it with friends, create with friends, and be sure to follow me on Instagram and tag me your work. Keep on drawing, keep on creating, and be safe.